You are listening to the Horse Radio Network, part of the Equine Network family.
Welcome to PHOD, the Practical Horseman Podcast mini-sode series, where we share audio clips from our subscription video site, Equestrian Plus. At Equestrian Plus, you can enjoy how-to videos and get insider access to exclusive interviews and lectures, slow-motion demonstrations, and step-by-step tutorials taught by top-level pros in the hunter, jumper, equitation, eventing, and dressage disciplines. To get full access to over 5,000 videos, go to equestrianplus.com and enter promo code PHODPOD to get 15% off your subscription. That's equestrianplus.com and promo code PHODPOD. That's PHODPOD for 15% off. On this week's episode, hunter-jumper trainer Christy McCormick explains how to build a mental speedometer, control your pace on course to find better distances. She starts at a walk with 1 mile per hour and shows how to add and subtract pace through the trot and canter as she builds to a canter pace needed to jump a course. Before we dive into the clip, I'd like to thank the sponsor of this PHOD episode, Cosequin, and share their message. Cosequin, the #1 veterinarian-recommended joint health supplement brand, is excited to announce the launch of its newest supplement, Cosequin ASU Balance. This advanced formula supports joint, immune, and digestive health. Cosequin ASU Balance helps moderate the inflammatory responses that can cause immune and GI tract disturbances through the innovative inclusion of postbiotics and beta-glucans. The formula also includes the comprehensive joint support Cosequin is known for, with ingredients such as ASU, hyaluronic acid, and Boswellia serrata extract. With over 30 years behind the Cosequin name, you can rely on Cosequin products when performance matters. To learn more, speak with your veterinarian or visit cosequin.com. Now, enjoy the clip.
This exercise is demonstrating the speedometer that you want to establish while you ride in your own head. So it's important to understand what pace is and what each gait means for each horse. So we're going to assign each gait a mile per hour. Coming to the walk here is approximately 1 mile per hour, and this is always the basic starting point. Moving up into collected sitting trot, we're going to call this approximately 2 to 3 miles per hour. And it's important at each gait to understand not just how fast you're going, but how to maintain it. You want to ask the horse to stay on one speed. Working trot, moving a little faster, will go up to 4 miles per hour. This gait especially is your baseline of keeping your horse between your hand and leg, making sure that they're not going behind your leg and getting too slow, and keeping this mile per hour basis in your head as you do your flat work. It's always a good line to go back to check in and think, am I at 4 miles per hour? Am I slower? Or am I faster? And how can I make the adjustment to correct that? Lengthening of stride, let's get up to approximately 5 miles per hour. Again, it's not just getting to the 5 miles per hour, but seeing what needs to happen to maintain it. 5 miles per hour lengthening of stride. I'd like to go into the canter. So we're going to go back to 3 miles per hour at the sitting trot for the transition. Once I establish that, working canter. And immediately I'm going to ask my horse to get up to working canter, which is about 8 miles an hour. So if the lengthening of stride at the trot is 5, she's a little reluctant to get to 8 miles an hour. And if this happens when your horse is first starting their flat work, take your time. Collected canter, which would just be the speed above lengthening of stride at the trot, is about 6 or 7 miles an hour. Each horse has a little different tempo. What's important here is not essentially that you're exactly 6 or 7 miles per hour, but that you're at a speed you can reference to yourself as you're on course. So this speed here is approximately 7 miles an hour for my horse. This is the canter that I want to go to when I land from a line later on. Right now, I'm just establishing that she's in front of my leg and off my hand. I can still go slower. There's 6 miles an hour as a very collected canter. And now let's go back to working canter, 8. 8 miles an hour where she's in front of me. This is the canter I want as I'm going to approach my jumps. It's engaged. I can slow down or speed up. On the flat, I have a strong enough connection that I'm trying to work on maintaining this canter. Like I said, she likes to fall behind me, so I've got to make sure I'm using enough leg. Lengthening of stride would be 9 miles an hour. This is a forward canter. It's not exactly a hand gallop, but I'm working on keeping the pace strong enough that if I needed to move up to a jump, I could use this canter to get to the distance. 9 miles an hour.
Thanks for listening to this PHOD Pod mini-sode, and thanks again to our sponsor, Cosequin. For unlimited access to more lessons like this, sign up for Equestrian Plus at equestrianplus.com and use promo code PHODPOD to get 15% off your subscription. Thanks again for listening.